Hello, today I'm going to be giving you advice on how to get and look for a job in the design tech space. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. And also normally people in YouTube and stuff, they would usually have like a really cool intro right now. But I don't have one of those yet, so there'll be like some music or boom 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 or bum 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 or something would happen like that. But I don't have a cool intro yet, so you just have to listen to me talking about a cool intro that I don't have. So before anything, it's very important that you have a very good, strong resume, and you want that to be pretty simple. You want it to be a pretty simple resume. You want it to be very clear, and you potentially want to use bullets. And sometimes, depending on how you set that up, you might want to just do paragraph format, but you want it to be very straight to the point. Talk about things that you worked on, and like what you were responsible for that job, and things like that. And also making sure in having that resume in a PDF format, and also having it as a Microsoft Word format as well, and having it living somewhere live, like on a Dropbox or a Google Drive. That way you have access to that resume, whether you're on your phone or on a desktop. You can always send those links out to people or to potential employers where you're applying for work. Another thing to think about is also maybe having that resume in a video format. Basically, it's your entire resume, but you're speaking into a camera, talking about pretty much everything that's on your resume. The jobs you worked for, what you've done, from what year you worked there, what were some struggles, and some ways you overcame those struggles, things like that. And I know it's a little controversial. Not everybody's so comfortable with making videos, but it's just an idea, something to potentially try. And you wouldn't necessarily give that to every kind of employer or every kind of company, but it's just something to stand out from the crowd in a potentially interesting, elegant way. Just wanted to give you that idea. I also recommend having a cover letter that's pretty generic and having that ready to go. And on there, I would include potentially at least three things why you would be good working for the company that you're applying for. And not all companies need cover letters, but it's still just good to have that. So like, depending on the type of company you're applying for, let's say it's like a UX UI designer job, and you're really good with researching, and you're really good with wireframes and kind of finding kind of doing user testing and things like that, you would kind of talk about that and explain that you're good at that, and that's some of the ways that you would benefit for the company. So that would be a pretty good one to mention. You also want to make sure to have a really strong but simple portfolio. And when I say portfolio, like an actual domain name, like something.com, that's just your own, where you could send a link to companies and potential employees and our employers. And it's just good to have that rather than sending somebody to Dribbble, because in there you would have a lot of, like if you had a Dribbble account or somewhere like a Behance, there would be a lot of other designers there, and you don't want to have competition with other people. You really just want it to be yourself. So it's good to have a strong, responsive portfolio, which will show if you're going, like, say, for a UX UI or like specifically like a UX job. Then you would show a lot of your research, you would show user testing, and you would show your thinking, wireframes, a lot of like sketching and ideas, a lot of write-ups. And if you're going for like a UI design job, obviously you would show a lot of visuals, but it's still really important to show a lot of ways that you've done your thinking, and like why you've done your decision making, why you made that decision. It's important to show not just your final solution from a visual perspective, but how you got to that solution. And that's why I'm talking about this whole thing of showing how you're thinking. So for example, if you have a navigation, and let's say that navigation is sticky, so it stays kind of on the top no matter where you scroll on your site. That navigation is sticky, and so it covers, let's say, depending on the screen size, it will cover, let's say, 10% of your website, right? So no matter where you're on the site, it's always going to be there, so it's covering your website. And you can talk about that and explain, like, it makes sense to cover my website because people are able to get, or to cover part of my website because people are able to get to different things faster because the navigation is sticky. Or maybe in some situations it doesn't make sense to do that, and explain your reasons why. So that's what I mean by showing kind of your thinking when you're showing your designs. In the past, when I've been a creative director or a head of design, these are the kind of things I looked for. It was really important for me to not just see your final result, like the design itself, but I wanted to really see kind of how you thought, and I wanted to see your decision making process. So I know that's important for that to live in your portfolio. And also, let me not forget to mention that one of the most important things about your portfolio is having a very easy way for potential companies to actually find you or contact you. So you want to have either your phone number or a big call to action button for them to be able to contact you. Don't forget that. There's a lot of good places out there to actually apply for work and to actually find really good companies that are hiring right now. But I just wanted to mention a couple places that I truly like. I wanted to start off with AngelList. That place is really, really great, and it's pretty much a lot of startups are there, and a lot of people that already got funded. They already have a certain amount of money that they're working with, and when you're applying for jobs there, you can kind of see what their budget is. So like if you want to apply for an interaction designer, you can kind of see what your salary, in almost kind of the range of what your salary might be. The next great place that I wanted to talk about where you could potentially apply for great jobs is LinkedIn. And pretty much most companies are on LinkedIn, and you could find all kinds of work there. But it's really cool because they show you, so when you're applying for work, you can kind of see how many people have already applied for that job, and you can also see like when it got posted. And they also have this kind of like fast apply, so you could kind of just like one click application. So you apply, you just put your resume is already up there. If you've already uploaded it one time, so it's pretty cool and pretty convenient. I know a lot of designers use Dribbble to kind of get inspired or take a look at really cool UIs or interaction animations. But a place like Dribbble also has a lot of companies looking for talent as well. And a lot of them is remote. They're looking for remote people that could work remotely. And it's just another place to check out that I know a lot of people know about, but not necessarily do a lot of people use it for potential work. ZipRecruiters is also a really great place. So there you would apply for stuff, or you would apply for work, and they would use different algorithms to actually send you a bunch of emails with similar companies that you've applied to already. Sometimes those emails might be a little spammy, but the algorithm that they use is very strong, and you can always unsubscribe from those emails. So if you haven't used ZipRecruiter, check that one out. You might find this surprising, but actually Twitter is a pretty great place to find work as well. You can just go on there and search for a specific job that you might be looking for, UX, UI, product design, different things like that, and things will come up in the little search, and you could see like people looking for those positions in real time. So try that out. I wanted to also mention Glassdoor and Indeed. Both of those places have reviews of companies. So like if you're applying for various companies that you want to work for and you kind of want to see more information about those companies, you can literally go there, type in the name of the company, and see what employees that work there, what they've been saying about it, if it's a good work environment, how they feel about it, and if it's good, bad, things like that. So those are some good sources to check out for that type of information. I definitely recommend talking to your past coworkers and friends from your past. And if you're just getting out of college and you really haven't worked that much, maybe to some internship programs that you've done or classmates that you've gone to school with. Basically talking to people from your past and seeing kind of where they're at, where they're working, if they potentially know anything, if they know anybody looking for work, or for design work, or for any type of particular work you're looking for. So basically checking out your network and kind of seeing what's going on. Also, when looking for work, you don't necessarily have to go to these places like LinkedIn and AngelList. You can actually go directly to the website of the company that you're interested in working in, and just usually at the very bottom, usually in the footers, you could see kind of like a section for company or positions and things like that, and it goes usually to a separate page, and you could see what positions they're looking for, and most sites have that. So that's just another way to kind of look for work, and that way you can niche down directly to the company that you're interested in working for. And you always want to be on high alert and be ready to respond to these companies or employers that are sending you emails back. So as soon as they send you an email, something like, hey, we like your resume, we like your portfolio, when can we set up a meeting? You want to make sure very hard that in that email that you respond back fast, and you want to make sure that everything is spelled correctly, and you have especially their name, the person that you're applying back to, and you don't want to seem like you're too available. So if they give you a time, when can you meet, or when would be a good time for you to potentially have an interview or something like that, you want to give a few different time options, but don't say something like, oh yeah, I'm available any time of the week. At any time, I'm completely available. So you don't want to do that, and that's just a little tip I wanted to include for you. I realize I went fairly quickly in giving you advice for kind of applying for work and looking for work. And I know there's so much more information out there. If I missed anything or you think anything else is important that I might have missed out, feel free to kind of leave those in the comments below and we can talk about it. I do appreciate you checking out this video and spending some time with me. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so, and also feel free to like this video as well, especially if you actually like it. I would really appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. And I hope you got a little bit of knowledge from this, and I'll see you later.